What's up, everybody? How's it going? It's Brandon Brashear. Thanks for watching the Digital Marketing Madman channel. Today we're going to cover 3 specific kinds of emails that every business should be sending out, and we're going to talk about how often you should be sending these emails out as well. So if you're like most businesses, you probably have an email list, but maybe you're not sure how to get those email lists to turn into actual clients. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over how to sell more with your email lists and how often you should be sending out these different types of emails so that you get the most out of your email marketing and that you get a positive ROI out of it. All right, let's get into today's episode. Hey, if you like this video today, be sure to consider subscribing. I make daily marketing videos where I tell you how to improve your marketing across all kinds of marketing mediums, where you'll learn how to turn more of your prospects into clients and how to use digital marketing to grow your business. All right, so let's talk about marketing today, specifically email marketing. There's 3 types of emails that you're probably already sending out. You're probably not sure what they're called or what kind of function they provide. A lot of times people are sending out emails, they're not really sure what to send out. So they're just typically sending out content or a newsletter, and it's just packed full of things and it doesn't really serve any purpose. So the 3 types of emails that we're going to talk about today, they're going to serve a very specific purpose, and it's going to help you to create a strategy around your email marketing so that you know exactly what to send out, what the calls to action should be, and really how to help move your person from an email subscriber into an actual client or customer in your business. So it's going to be really, really helpful for you. Be sure to watch all the way through. If you enjoy the video, be sure to like it. If you have any questions or comments or need help with anything, just comment below. I'm always happy to answer questions. And let's get into today's video. So the first kind of emails that we're going to cover are called relational emails. So relational emails are what it sounds like. You're trying to build a relationship. These kind of emails are sent out to new subscribers. They're sent out to help further your content and give more context for your content specifically. So these are like newsletters, indoctrination sequences when you're sending out new subscriber messages and you're trying to kind of tell what the subscriber can expect from you. It's when you deliver a lead magnet, how you format that. It's basically set up so that you're going to be able to take your relationship through the next step of the journey, hopefully that you're taking your customer on. So from going from a stranger to somebody who doesn't know about you, who's never heard about you, to somebody who's a customer, paying customer, and continues to pay you, there are steps along that way. They have to get to know you, they have to understand what the product is, they're going to have to overcome objections, and relational emails help to take them from that next step. So let's talk about a few types of emails that are these relational emails really quick. So an easy way to think about relational emails is when somebody signs up for something, it's the delivery of that thing specifically. So if they're signing up for a newsletter, if they're a brand new subscriber on your list, if they are signed up for a webinar confirmations, if they've bought something from you, your tracking emails, things like this are what helps you to take your relationships to the next level. Now, I would say that adding personality and adding just allowing people to get more in touch with your brand and understand specifically what your brand is about is going to be really, really important here. So don't just be boring and say, hey, thanks so much for subscribing. We're going to send you a newsletter. Tell a story about yourself. Tell them how you got started, why do you care so much about them. I would always try to make it about the person that's subscribed, not so much about yourself, but you can do that in a creative way so that you're able to convey how much you care about your clients, how much you care about the industry, what your mission is as a company, and really help to convey that in a way that is unique and not boring. So think about what can you do to specifically get people to know you better. Usually I like to, especially for my clients, when they have an onboarding sequence, they're trying to stand out, especially if it's a very boring industry specifically, like maybe it's a software service company and it's just really boring. If you can spice it up by specifically, offering more insight about you and your personality. If you're a salesperson, and let's say you're selling a CRM software, for example, that's not super exciting, right? People need it, and it's generally something that people need, but it's not something that's exciting. So tell a little bit more about yourself, Give them context so that when you call, you're the person who is different, instead of just having your salespeople just be another faceless salesperson. So give a face to yourself. What I like to do a lot of times in these relational emails is suggest that my clients go out and actually create videos that introduce themselves, talk about where they're from, and in a way be like, hey, I'm your point of contact moving forward, and specifically here's what I plan to help you with, and here's how I can help, and here's a little bit about me. So I find that those type of relational videos are very, very cool. A tool that I really like for sending out relational emails, by the way, is called Bonjoro. I'll definitely do a tutorial on that in the future, but it lets you send personalized messages and videos to your prospects, which is really, really cool. And it lets you do it at scale, and it looks super like personal, but it is something that you can do at scale, which is something that's hard to achieve. So the next kind of emails that we have are called transactional emails. And transactional emails are very important because specifically when you're selling things, or depending on if you're selling things online or you're setting up appointments, or it depends a lot on how your business is run and how your customers engage with your business. But think about when they give you money for any services, that's basically when these transactional emails go out. So it can be for things like account creation, unsubscribing, like specifically after somebody buys something, so the receipt that they get. It can be all kinds of just transactions that took place, and now you're following up after that transaction took place. So it really depends on your business, as I mentioned. But this is where you're able to really inject a lot of personality as well. And so I think just in general, sending out transactional emails that aren't boring, that you're not using the stock emails, and you're specifically giving more context into what you care about, how they should engage with your brand, and what the next step is, especially if they're coming in at an entry-level product price where you're maybe doing a tripwire or a first purchase that's a low-dollar purchase. Sending out emails that help them to take the next step and get even more trust is something that I think is really, really valuable. So with transactional emails, you typically have, these are your highest open rate emails. And so whenever possible, if you have, for example, an order confirmation or shipping notice that says, hey, we shipped your product, you usually have a very, very high open rate with that because they just bought it. Typically, they want to find the tracking on things that they bought. So if you're selling physical products, this is especially good. If you're selling digital products too, where people buy something and then download it, this is definitely one of your higher open rate email as well. So optimizing this step is really important because you just have so much attention. So getting people to take the next step in the relationship, whether it's following your social channels, buying more products and offering a promo code for it, giving people an upsell or a cross-sell at this point, and really helping them to take the next step that you're looking them to take is going to be important in this specific step. So think about, what is it that you want them to do next? You want them to increase in your relationship with your brand. So should they be following your Instagram page? Should they be sending you a message directly, giving you feedback? What is it that you're looking for them to do? Maybe you're looking for reviews and things like that. That's definitely a possibility. So think about, what should I have them do in the next step, and then what's the easiest way for them to actually go and do that. All right, the third and final type of emails are called promotional emails. And this is when you're sending out any kind of information that's not transactional, it's not relational. So things like, hey, we have a webinar coming up, you should be on it. Or, hey, we have this new lead magnet that you can go and download and take advantage of. Or we created this new blog post, you should go read it. Or we created a new live video, go check it out. It's where you're trying to promote a specific piece of content, a specific product, or something like that. So with these emails, they're typically the emails that get your average open rates. And so it's really, really important that if you are sending out promotional emails, like most businesses are, you have one simple call to action is typically what I like to have, right? So if I'm sending out an email, and I see this a lot, people send out newsletters and it's promotional and relational, they're trying to combine the two. That's okay to do, but when you're sending out a newsletter and people will say, hey, I'm sending out newsletters, and it's not turning my emails into actual customers. And that makes sense because when they're sending out newsletters, there's no calls to action specifically inside of the email. So if you're looking to do something like a special at your local business that you're trying to drive people in, then it's going to be important that you're actually saying, hey, here's how you take advantage of this offer, or here's how you go and check out this new piece of content. And don't just say, hey, we have a new thing up on our blog, go check it out. Link to the specific page. Don't make them go to your home page and then navigate to your blog and then navigate to the post. Make it really, really simple, and help them to take the next step without really having to do too much work. And I think that that's something that is typically not done very well, just because people forget. So if you're going to sell something, actually sell something with a call to action and make sure that it's super clear, especially like if you're a local business and you have, let's say, I work with veterinary practices a lot, for example. So they'll send out a newsletter. They'll talk about some common things that are going on. Like they'll say, hey, there's a lot of cases of heartworm. We need to make sure that you're up to date on your heartworm treatments. And they'll just say that. They'll be like, no, here, you need to call and make an appointment, or, here's a link that you can click to buy the specific product that we're talking about. So it's like, hey, what's the next step? How is it that you're going to want them to come in? Sometimes it's not just like, how can they take the next step, but how do you actually want them to come in? Do you want them to actually pick up the phone and call? If that's the case, you should be putting an embedded click the call button in your email, because that makes sense, right? It's the easiest call to action. Or, just how do you actually want them to take action in your promotional emails? So those are the three kinds of emails. We have relational, transactional, and promotional. Now, in general, people are typically really heavy one way or the other. They don't feel comfortable selling online, or they don't feel comfortable selling, with emails. They just want to provide content and value, and they don't want to do any of the follow-up that is in selling. And on one hand, that's great, but on the other hand, it doesn't help you get money in the bank. You want to actually be able to measure return on investment with your marketing. And then we have people on the other side who are just constantly blasting their email list with offers, and the only time they ever communicate with their email list is when they want them to buy something. So those are both wrong. We need a balance of those things. So first, I would say make sure that all of your transactional emails are optimized for the next step that you're looking for them to do, because those are your highest open rates. So if you go in and you start optimizing those transactional emails, you're going to see a huge return on that time to build those campaigns out. Once those are done and you feel like those are in a good spot, be sure to be able to test and measure which ones are getting the highest open rates, what your click-throughs are looking like, and see how you can improve that process. But after that, I'd say that I would do at least a 50-50 of promotional and relational emails. So be sending out content that helps them to take the next step emotionally with your brand, and get more in depth into your brand and into your process, into your content. And then also, it's important that you're sending out offers and you're getting people to actually buy in your brand with your emails. So I would say 50-50 is a good solid number of promotional and relational emails that you should be sending out. But let me know what you think. Am I wrong here? What are you doing? What are you sending out? And is it helpful to you? I'd also like to know, do you have any questions or comments, or is there any kind of videos that you would like me to cover? If you have any questions or comments or need help with anything, don't hesitate to comment in the comments below. I will respond, and have a great day. If you enjoyed these videos, be sure to subscribe. You could watch more videos. I have daily videos that I'm creating here, or you could subscribe by clicking that round button right there.